Welcome, you have reached Imperial Sports, and today's video is the GOAT, Michael Jordan, and the best shooter ever, Steph Curry. Sit down and talk golf. Let's get into it. And before we get started, just subscribe to the channel and like that video. Now, this is a rare interview that you almost never see. If you think about as long as you've seen Michael Jordan, he rarely does interviews, and especially sitting down with a player to do an interview. I can't think of one, and if anybody watches this video, they might could point out another one, but it's far in between. And you never really see that. You never see Mike sit down. I'm pretty sure he talked to a lot of guys if they reach out to him to get advice or talk to him about certain situations. But to actually sit down and do an interview, that's a rare thing to see. So when I came across watching this, it was interesting. But in the same sentence of saying that, they're just talking golf. So it's not really where you're looking. Wow, I like to see a full hour video interview with Mike. The same way you see Shaquille on All the Smoke and all them other platforms doing interviews and stuff like that with Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles, the Knuckleheads platform. You like to see Jordan give one of those type of interviews like that, where they just talk ball and just pick his brain. But Mike, I guess he's too big for that. So that's why I was shocked to see this. But in the same regard, they're not really talking basketball. They're talking about his love for the sport of golf, Steph Curry's love for the sport of golf, and some comparisons about how the sport, the Ryder's Cup that they're at, is the comparison with basketball, and how your golf players are pretty much running golf right now. So they're just talking about that. But I won't be shocked going forward. You won't start seeing Mike show up on these platforms and giving interviews like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you're sitting on top of the world, you made all the money, you still got some of the highest selling shoes, even with current players, the mystique, how much more could you hold off that? People would love to have that Michael Jordan interview on the YouTube platforms that everybody tend to now, the Last Dance documentary during the pandemic shot through the roof. Everybody was on that, you know what I'm saying? So it would be good to see Mike do interview with other players, you know what I'm saying? Especially with, the loss of Kobe. You kind of think you would have loved to seen a sit down interview with Kobe and Mike going back and forth talking, you know what I'm saying? That would have been dope. It's still time. So the ultimate interview, it'd been dope if he got that full interview with Steph, and maybe they got something coming. It just a snippet of. It's really a longer video, but it'd be dope once LeBron finally retire. That might squash all that media verses and all that, and they sit down and do an interview. You know what I'm saying? LeBron has came into his own now. So, he's his own entity. So, but in the back of his mind, I think he always looked up to Mike. He wore the number 23. So, he had to. He did change his number at one point. Then he changed it back to 23. So, he always, it's almost like maybe Mike gives him the the salute behind the scenes, but then the media pegged LeBron against Mike, and it always kind of, I guess Mike feud into it because LeBron feud into it, and it's just a competitive between the two. But you're looking at two great players, you know, and in my opinion, Mike is the GOAT. But then you got some younger generations that they didn't come up watching Mike, and so they look at LeBron as that. But when you seen The Last Dance, that did sway the narrative because people really got to see how nice Mike was and where he came from and how he did it. So in a short period of time, you know, LeBron going on year 19. Mike only did 15 years, and about 3 of those years, 2 was in 2 garbage years in Washington, and then 1 was that half year where he came back for half the year wearing the number 45. So, you know, that'd be dope to see. But that's all I got on this video. It was nice just to see Mike. Salute to Steph Curry, and salute to Michael Jordan. Like I said in the beginning of the video, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Until next time.